Welcome to the Best Outdoors program just off the shores of the mighty Red River. It's the Hooking Up and Tracking Down show, the heart and soul of all things related to God's great outdoors. Starring Gary McCoy, an all-around outdoorsman with a CMA award for Best Personality in Radio. A man who excels in the radio world and needs no introduction to the outdoors, whether standing tall in the winner's circle or sitting low in the deer stand. Mike Eccles, the boss tournament trail director and outstanding duck hunting guide with a wealth of outdoors knowledge who's not afraid to give his opinion with or without the facts. His years of bass tournament experience ensures that rules are followed and anglers are kept in check. And last but not least, Daiwa and Ranger Pro Steve Graff, a member of the Northwestern State University Hall of Fame with years of bass tournament experience who continues his pursuit of a double-digit bass and championship stringers. So let's jump on the front deck and make that first cast with the legendary minds of the great outdoors. Gary McCoy, Mike Eccles, and the one and only Steve Graff. Take it away, guys.
Thank you so much for tuning in. We are hooking up and tracking down Gary McCoy, the old Ranger Pro staffer Steve Graff, the mud hen Mike Eccles, back from the beaches of Mexico. Cozumel.
Guacamoleville.
Guacamole.
Oh, man, that's my kind of place.
Yeah.
Did you have a drink with an umbrella in it?
Yeah, but I didn't realize when they handed it to me, I was so far gone, I swallowed the umbrella.
Hey, Jay.
That hurts worse coming out, don't it?
We need
well, it depends on whether it's folded up or not.
we need to change that intro, the last part, where I'm looking for double-digit bass.
Yeah.
I'm just looking for a bass. After yesterday's trip.
We can make that edit pretty quick.
we need to edit that because after yesterday's trip to Monticello and Lake Welsh, I'll take a bass.
Yeah, just scratched out. Hey, this part of the show brought to you by Bayou Outdoor Supercenter. Steve Nichols and the gang at Specialty Traco, CCA of Louisiana, and Despino and Jim South Tire. And
speaking of Despino,
dude,
did he put it on him or what?
Dude,
him and Kevin Lazione.
Yeah.
That's two pretty darn good anglers in the same boat.
But you put them on Toledo Bend.
Yeah.
And, really, that's when they get to shine.
Well, they're Rayburn, Grand Lake up
Grand
in Oklahoma.
Bayou.
No, Grand Lake, Oklahoma, Texoma. It don't matter where they go. They're freaking good.
Well, they are the winners of the H&W Skeeter Championship that was held over the weekend on Toledo Bend.
Yep.
But you know what? I had a tough time. I was on their Facebook page, and I had a tough time picking out all the ones. I couldn't read who was in second place. I did see that Jeff Holder and Terry Berghardt finished third.
And Nick LeBrun fishing by himself was second.
Okay, gotcha.
Oh, was he? Okay, well.
It took 41 pounds. I think Kevin and Jim had 41, almost 42 pounds, which, this time of the year, I mean, it's July.
Yeah.
And to pull out two 20-pound sacks a day, that's a pretty good feat, down on Toledo.
Well, it's just an example of what kind of a screwed up year we've had. July, everything should be in the summer patterns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the majority of the people still caught their limit of fish in 4 foot or less.
Yeah. Really?
Yes. Now, they didn't win there.
Yeah.
But they finished in the money.
Wow.
The fish are so spread out, so staggered because it has taken so long for the water temperature to get to 90 and the fish to get to where it's just like it's just still trailing from the bank all the way out to the deep water.
Not only that, the lake is up to 171.6.
Yeah, normally it should be about 3 feet lower this time of year.
And
I heard there's still some fish in the bushes on Toledo.
Well, there are.
That's what I heard.
They had 6 inches of rain after it went to 171.6. It's still probably on the rise. They had 6 inches of rain the other day in the mid-lake. Yeah. I posted that. That came from the Toledo Bend Lake Association.
When was the last time you caught a fish in the bushes on Toledo Bend in July?
Yeah.
I can't remember the last time I've caught a fish on Toledo Bend other than a crappie.
Really?
Yeah. I haven't not bass fished Toledo Bend in probably 10 years.
Well, the guys pulled it out. We got a couple of new people that we've got to welcome aboard. Mustang Survival and Groove Fishing Tackle.
Yeah, they are a done deal, as well as K2 Coolers is a done deal.
Everybody wants to come on board.
Well, they do. I mean,
it's just showing good sense in your
and we will take everybody.
Yeah.
Well, that's just a pat on the back.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Of you going to the ICAST show last week while I was getting sand in my crack. You were working.
He's looking for. Can you get a tequila sponsor?
Hey, I'm telling you,
no. I did that. I don't do tequila.
Oh, okay.
No, I drink tequila. I wind up naked or in jail. And
or sometimes both.
We
They
went
can be in jail.
we went on a booze cruise, and the guy brought out the tequila shots while we were standing in the water.
Yeah.
And it was from
It's
there
not
on. It was not pretty. So,
And I'm hoping next week, let's talk about resorts. Like I know Mike's been at a resort. I've got a resort I'm meeting with tomorrow. I'm not going to say who it is yet because they're not on board, but I'm hoping tomorrow after about an hour with me sitting down with them that they will be on board.
They'll be begging for
just
mercy.
give up.
My wife accused me of the same thing
Here's
one
a
day.
checkbook. Please leave us alone.
There was I'll tell you, it was the Landing in Natchitoches, a Wildwood Resort. Randy Ziegler owns both of them. And
Yeah.
So I corner him at Sunday brunch one day after church.
Oh, God love him.
And
He
Sherry's
hadn't
like,
eaten yet.
Sherry's like, he told you yes.
He's thinking, I just thought the sermon was boring. Come on, Steve.
Sherry said, he told you yes just to get you to shut up.
Hey, I got an article. It's Shark Week. You've been watching any of the
No,
Shark
but I
doc-
did
haven't
heard
watched that
that.
in a while.
I did heard. I did heard that. What's his name?
Woodlawn.
Michael Phelps.
Michael Phelps
swam beside outswam a great white.
No, it was a computer generated image.
Oh, okay.
And he lost.
And he
he lost.
Yeah,
Yeah,
all
he lost.
three of the sharks, all three different kinds.
Yeah.
Anyway, it is Shark Week, and this is something that a lot of people don't know. A bull shark is considered the most dangerous to humans.
They're aggressive,
of
aren't they?
all the sharks.
Yeah.
There was a 6 foot, 135-pound bull shark that was caught in Red River. Now, it was down at Simmsport.
Came through Atchafalaya.
Came all the way up the Atchafalaya River,
Yeah.
which by mileage would be about a 3-hour drive
Right.
to Simmsport, where it was caught in the Red River, close to where it meets the Atchafalaya. So this fish had swam all the way up the Atchafalaya, got to the Red River, and had gone up, and the guy caught it in his catfish net. Now, I want you to think about this. That fish was already half the way.
Oh, yeah.
It was already half the way to Shreveport.
Yeah.
If it doubled its distance, and the wildlife and fisheries agent that they spoke to says they can tolerate, even fresh water, doesn't even have to be brackish, but fresh water.
Right.
And they can tolerate this for a while. It's not their favorite, but I'm going to tell you, do I ever think that one would be here in Shreveport area? No, I don't. But it's not that far-fetched.
Not impossible.
Right. When one's already swam half the way.
Don't you know when he raised that net up, he said, "Holy spit!"
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you imagine?
What do you remember? Do you remember when in front of Clark's at the lock 20 years ago, a guy caught a brown trout?
I do remember that.
Really? Yes, sir.
I do remember that.
I didn't
Came
hear
out
about that.
of one of the
Arkansas
Texoma or I don't know, something.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to talk about some python snake that somebody.
Oh, no.
There's been
that-
anacondas in
Oh,
there.
yeah, they were sighted down there by that guy that that alcoholic that runs the lock.
Well, this past week, I had to take Meredith's dog, Rusty, to the veterinarian.
Yeah.
And he was telling me a story about how he killed a deer in his ghillie suit last year. And I said, be careful with the ghillie suit now.
Yeah, dude.
The deer was wearing a ghillie suit.
He said, I couldn't get the deer on its normal routine, so he said I went off path and went into a ghillie suit, and I actually got the deer.
Now,
I said,
you know what? Because that was the guy that was hunting Bigfoot that got
that's
killed
why I
in the
told
middle
him
of the
that
road.
story. I said, be careful, dude. He's going to get run over.
That's the funniest story we ever had that wasn't a Gerald Swindle story.
Of a man dying.
And he died.
Yeah, but you know what? Sometimes you deserve it.
We're
Yeah.
sick.
You just
I'm
got to
sorry.
weed them out.
I'm sorry. You get drunk, dress up like Bigfoot, and
Yeah.
run out in the interstate.
Trying to scare people.
You get everything you deserve.
Dodging cars.
Okay, we got a little bit of time here. I want to mention this benefit bass tournament, and I bet you know about this too, Mike. Cranking for Chad. Mm-hmm. It's going to be held this Saturday on Caddo Lake. You can launch at first light at the Earl G. Williams boat launch. $100 per boat, two-man tournaments. Weigh in at 2 o'clock at the same launch. Got to be in the weigh-in line 2 p.m. to weigh in. Okay, so I'm assuming there is no
Stop
penalty.
fishing time.
There's no stop fishing time, and there's no penalty for being late in the line. You just be there at 2, or you just don't weigh your fish.
Right.
Additionally, they will have $7 chicken plates for sale at the weigh-in, and all the proceeds will go to Chad Crank. And you're thinking, who is he? Born and raised in Homer. He graduated from Homer High School, been in the food industry for the past 20 years. Doctors have deemed it necessary for Chad to have a double lung transplant as soon as possible. His lungs are not functioning adequately. Once a donator is secured, he will have the surgery at Baylor University Medical Center in Dallas, where he will need to remain for an extended stay for recovery and rehabilitation. So that's going to put Chad completely out of work, out of any financial means. It's that, and so this money's there to help.
And hats off to Cody Brooks, who is putting this together, and Frank Canizero, who's helping. So please show up out there Saturday and support them.
You bet,
great
$100.
cause.
If you don't want to fish, just show up and pay the $100.
Yeah,
If you don't want to fish, drive up there and eat lunch for $7.
Yeah,
I mean that'll go to them.
you bet. You know, you can make a donation at that point. But back to today's show, we've got our Paul's Farm and Garden question of the week coming up. Are we hurting our chances for a big buck by hunting over a feeder? I do believe you do. Also, our buddy Charlie King just named the 2017 Best Crappie Guide of the Year.
Runner-up.
Oh, I thought he was the best one.
No, he said, he texted me on Facebook. He was the runner-up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he said Facebook had it wrong.
Oh, okay.
So
Oh, well, we're not going to have him on then.
No,
It's only
Yes,
first.
I told him it didn't matter.
It's only first place people on this show. Look at us.
We'll take second best.
Hey, we got more Outdoor Outlaws lined up for you today. Going to talk with FLW Pro Team USA member James Watson about the upcoming FLW Cup and the new Team USA event. Now, that's Scott Martin's on that also, isn't he?
Yes, he is the captain.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's the captain.
Where are they doing that?
South Africa.
So we go to South Africa to
compete.
Is this like an Olympics or something?
Well, it's, several different countries are involved. I think 15 different countries are involved.
Didn't you say they're trying to do what they can to make it an Olympic
They've already
event?
applied for it to be in the sport. They've already made the official application.
Eccles can you imagine Eccles as an Olympian?
Hey, I could carry the torch as long as it wasn't but about a 20-yard run, and I could wear that spandex outfit. Hey, if they can
look
make
good.
that hurling,
You and
curling,
Bruce Jenner holding hands, running up to the torch.
I changed Bruce Jenner's mind.
And they've changed a lot of things.
BASS has just released their new 2018 schedule. Also on the way, USA Bass Team has announced the Bistineau Bridge is out.
Yeah,
That's coming up.
yeah.
I didn't realize
I figured
the
y'all
Brisbane-
would know
No.
about that.
I was down there last week. I don't know. I don't know if that's really the dam bridge.
It's
spillway.
the old bridge. It's the one that they're letting people fish off of. That's the one that's out.
It looked like a new bridge.
No, it's not the new bridge. It's the old
The
bridge.
photo was of the new bridge and it had barricades in front
Yeah,
of it.
well, don't go by those photos.
Okay.
I'm just telling you, it's the old
It had
bridge.
a name of somebody.
It's the old bridge. Yeah, they named it after somebody so that the people could
And I
fish
heard
off
that
of
person before.
Bobby Bistineau.
it. Yeah, that wasn't it.
Y'all knew the person.
Well, of course we did. We know everybody.
Well, that's true. I forgot.
Eccles grew up with him.
Who is it?
I'm trying to think. I'll have to see if I can look that up.
Anyway, also on today's show, our buddy Jackie Raines with Quality Deer Management Association. He's going to be calling us. We're going to discuss maybe their upcoming fundraisers.
We're going to talk about the organization. Jackie's chairman of the local chapter this year, and maybe even last year. I don't remember. But great guy.
Is he still in the archery business?
No, he's not in the archery business. But he had the archery shop out there on Kingston Road, Mansfield Road,
Forever.
for a long time.
Yeah.
But
And the one in Mansfield.
He's going to talk about the organization. He's going to talk about the banquet tomorrow night, and when he gets through with that, we're going to give away 4 tickets to the banquet.
Hey, look at here.
Yeah, I mean,
Stay tuned.
All right,
put your finger on the button.
Are you gonna call or are you gonna be on Facebook? How are you gonna do those tickets?
I'm doing them.
You're doing
Don't
them?
quit looking at him. He doesn't run this
See,
thing.
just keep listening.
Thomas Laval.
Thomas Laval,
the
bridge.
the officer.
Yeah, it's the
LaValle,
it's
LaValle,
LaValle,
Thomas
yeah.
LaValle.
It's that
Okay.
bridge.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, but
That's not the new one.
That is the new one, but it's not the new bridge that's out.
Okay.
It's the fishing bridge, the old bridge, the one that they're allowing people to fish off of. That's the one they've closed right now.
Oh, okay.
So
We'll talk about
you
that
can
later.
still pass on the dam.
okay.
Yeah.
You'll be fine.
What we're gonna do is just open the line. We're gonna give away 2 pair of tickets.
Oh, fantastic!
Call
That's
it.
awesome.
We'll do that about 12:30.
12:45.
12:45.
Sometime we're through talking with Jack.
We never
Okay.
give nothing away.
We'll
man.
be listening. We are hooking up and tracking down 11:30. The Tiger.
Thanks for tuning us in today. This segment presented by Daiwa Rods and Reels, J&J Exterminating, V&M Baits, and Paul's Farm and Garden. Now's the time to get those deer plots ready for the upcoming season with seed from Paul's Farm and Garden. Now back to the guys who'll need a different kind of plot one day. Gary McCoy, Mike Eccles, Steve Graff, and Topwater Jay Wadley.
Are you tired of dealing with poorly designed deer feeders? Look no further than Paul's Farm and Garden for the best deer feeder to come out.
Easy for you to say.
To come out in a long, long time. The one and done. Now, don't you own one of these?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, Gary, do you own one?
Not yet.
Not yet. I need one myself.
Raccoon-proof, pig-proof.
Yeah.
Do they make one for feeding fish food?
Yes.
Okay.
It's directional.
Easy to load, made of 16-gauge steel. All welded seams can be placed on the ground or attached to a tree. Bear, hog, and rodent resistant due to interior placement of the spinner. Easy access to the motor and battery allows for cleaning and extra storage for larger batteries. One and done feeders shoot grain over 40 feet. And if you want proof, go to Facebook page. Go to our Facebook page. I have posted on our Facebook page the video of this and see the one and done video. Pretty cool.
Okay, it's the Paul's Farm and Garden question of the week. Are we, because we're talking about feeders here, are we hurting our chances for a big buck by hunting over a feeder? I honestly think that you'll never see the biggest buck in that area of your lease around the feeder. I do believe that having the feeder increases your chance of seeing him.
Brings him into the area.
Not around the feeder. One of the things that I've noticed over the years is that, especially on a pipeline, a high line, something like that, that big buck's got a spot that he crosses. And he might only stick an ear out of the woods.
Right.
But he's going to look down there towards that feeder. If there are does around there, he might move out a little bit, especially if one's in season and the wind's blowing his way.
Right.
He might, but generally, I'm going to tell you, of the nice deer that I've shot over the last 25 years, I think one, maybe two of them have been around a feeder.
Right.
Did the feeder help me to see some of the other deer, to have another vantage point to say, all right, I see where you're crossing, I see where you're coming out, and then I could go put a lock on or something in that area.
And the feeder brings does.
Without a
if it
doubt.
does in heat,
Without
the buck's going to follow.
Yeah, but I'm going to tell you that most of the time he's not.
No, I'm not saying you're going to kill him over a feeder. I'm saying that feeder is going to bring that buck to it just because the does are coming.
You know, the thing about it, though, the one thing that I have noticed is that when feeders were brand new, when they first said, boy, you can put corn out there, you know, there still weren't a whole lot of people that would do it.
Right.
And you could see a whole lot of deer around a corn pile. I still think that hand-thrown corn works better. There's so many feeders out there now that deer have associated that feeder with danger.
Yeah.
And some of the guys at my lease will agree. You know, they'll go out there and throw corn out on Thursday if they're going to hunt Saturday, Sunday, because they don't want a feeder around there. And I don't know that I disagree with that.
Let's ask the peanut gallery, Mike. What do you?
Y'all through making a fool out of yourself?
Sure. No.
Actually, I agree. Other than when you said you'll never do this, I've always said that when a man says never, talking about hunting, fishing, or women, I quit listening to it.
Yeah. You're right.
Nothing never works or always works.
Exactly. Yeah. Good point.
But I do agree that your chances of seeing a big buck under a feeder are really slim. Right. You know, they say that a buck can come in and check does for as much as a half a mile away.
Wow. I didn't realize. But you know what? I've
with
seen
the wind current.
With the scent.
Yes. And tell whether there's a doe that's in heat in a food plot or something. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, absolutely. And I think that's the reason that most people now have learned to put their most people are putting their feeder like 200 yards from their stand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And if you're on a right of way or something, that gives you the 200 yards that, and then another 200 yards the other direction that buck can come out and feel comfortable.
And another thing too, a lot of guys put their cameras by their feeders. Well, the only kind of photo you're gonna get is gonna be at night, pretty much anyway, of any kind of quality buck. It's gonna be at night,
right?
So you're better off finding a scrape line instead if you want to try to time a deer. And when's that deer coming through?
Well, if you can find a trail that's a couple hundred yards away from the feeder, maybe, but you're just not going to get that many pictures.
Exactly.
That's
exactly right.
And probably the guy that I would have to say is the best deer hunter that I've ever met in my life is Ben Johnson. Still hunts with nothing but a recurve.
Yeah.
Will tell you the same thing. He would never hunt a feeder, especially bow hunting with corn. He goes in and throws small amount of corn.
Amen.
Scatters it.
Right.
You bet.
He said that way they got their head down, looking.
They're browsing.
And it takes them longer
Yeah.
to find a handful of corn
Right.
thrown in the leaves than it does for them to walk up and eat a pound of it on a pile
Off the ground under the
Yeah.
feeder. Yeah.
So
Another thing too, why do some states, do you guys think, why do they ban hunting over a feeder or any kind of bait?
You know, in Wisconsin, the biggest issue that they had there was disease.
Right.
You brought so many deer into this little confined area where that corn was, and it was promoting the spread of blue tongue, Lyme disease,
right.
number of different diseases, and that was the biggest issue that they had with it. But I can remember even back here in Louisiana, you couldn't plant a pea patch and hunt over it.
Yeah.
You could have a pea patch at your lease, but you couldn't hunt over it.
How long ago has that been?
Oh God, that was back in I would venture early 70s into the late 70s. I don't remember what year it was we finally started getting to put corn out, but I want to say that was in the 80s when we started getting to put corn out even. So it's a relatively new thing, if you will, in our world. But if you got to remember that we didn't even have deer here back in the late 50s. They didn't come in until the 60s.
You know how I used
We
to
were all shot out.
Yeah, you know how I used to put corn out? I used a 2-liter Coke bottle.
They kicked that
And
Coke
they
bottle
would
around.
take the cap off, and
Yeah.
they kept it dry.
Yeah.
And they would kick it around,
Yeah.
and it worked.
Yeah.
It worked.
I've seen old 5-gallon buckets that were turned upside down, and they had a plunger up in there.
Oh,
and,
okay.
And the handle sticking out of the neck of that hole,
Yeah.
where the spout was, and they would hit that neck of that
To open
plunger
up and
thing.
let-
No, it would just as they moved it around,
Right.
corn would fall
Corn
out on the
fall
ground.
out, yeah.
And Uncle Gary still got a couple of those on the place. We hadn't put any corn in them in a long time, but it worked.
you know, I wish somebody could look this up. I'm not sure that it was ever illegal to put corn out.
Really?
I don't know that it was. I remember the first time I saw corn in a feeder, and it was over at Homer, one of the highest deer populations
Yeah.
that we've had in the state at
Yeah.
that time. And this was
Flavor
going to be
Parish.
about 1980. And the corn laid on the ground and rotted. They wouldn't eat it.
Really?
Deer did not know. That's one thing about it. You're not going to just throw something out and a deer just run eat it.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
eat apples all over the north.
Yeah.
You can't get them to eat apple around here
Yeah.
unless you train them.
Yeah.
They'll eat sweet potatoes, but you can't just go throw sweet potatoes out.
Well, it's against the law to.
Except start. No, it's not.
Yeah, it is. Sweet potatoes is the only thing in the state of Louisiana you cannot bait a deer with.
Really?
Yes. The only thing in the state
Whoops.
of Louisiana you
Whoops.
cannot bait a deer with is sweet potato.
I'll be back in a little bit. No, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I mean, 'cause I know people that used to do it.
Yeah.
But I'm
They were
not,
just breaking the law.
Yeah.
No big deal.
who cares? It's just a minor technicality. But I do. I remember the first time I heard a feeder go off, and this was on open land that we were just hunting. I heard a feeder go off, scared the crap out of me. Didn't know what it was. Went over there. Somebody had put a feeder in the woods.
Oh.
And I went over there and looked. So every week I would go back and hunt the same area, and that corn laid on the ground and soured.
Wow.
Deer wouldn't pick it up, and there was deer everywhere.
I wonder why that is.
They're just not used to it. Like you could go throw a bale of alfalfa out right here, and deer might not eat it for a while.
Yeah.
So they have to be trained to eat stuff.
Well, when you consider the the putting the bait out, I have put out persimmons before, good ripe persimmons. Put them out, put them around the corn. There's the
That's something they might find in the woods somewhere.
yeah,
but
exactly.
did they run eat them?
No,
Okay.
but it at some point, and I don't know if it was coons, possums, or what. Something wiped them out. They had been there a while.
Yeah.
These big oaks that we've got right here, I don't know what kind. They're almost like a live oak, big old huge acorns on them. I have gathered up 5-gallon bucket loads of those and hauled them out to the woods and put them in key little spots. And just like you're saying,
Yeah.
deer didn't have anything. Now maybe it was because
They had so much other stuff.
exactly,
Yeah.
or that just was not available in the woods around there. And
Well, that's what Hunter's philosophy is always. He said on the show that as long as they got plenty of natural browse They're not looking to go find a food plot or corn or supplement. As long as they got what they need, the honeysuckle that's natural to them, they're gonna feed on that first.
I got a sneaky suspicion that this year could be, as far as the health of deer, could be one of the best years we've seen in a long time.
Got good timely rains.
Oh my God! I mean, everything is still green in the woods.
Yeah.
I mean, there's
okay, which equates into not seeing deer,
sure
not killing as many.
But what I'm saying is the health of the deer, I believe, will be bar none.
Yeah.
Maybe will rival. Last year actually, was a good year as far as the size of the deer, but this year I think will be even better.
What was it? 2 years ago? It's just unbelievable.
Oh yeah,
the number of big bucks that were killed.
Yeah, 2 or 3 years ago
it was insane.
And but I think that was all because of the amount of mass that hit the ground. The acorns were just raining.
I wonder if it had anything to do with the big floods we had. That
Could
was
have been.
The same time we had.
Yeah,
the
we
big
talked
floods.
about all of that.
Yeah. And,
okay, sit tight, kids. We're going to talk to Charlie King here in a minute. He didn't win it, but he was right there. I mean, just what did he need? Like one vote?
Well, when you're either runner-up or the winner of the best crappie angler, I'd like to book a trip with this guy.
2017 runner-up best crappie guide by the Best of Louisiana Outdoors. He got that award. Was it down at the Superdome?
That Superdome,
yeah. I saw that picture.
Yep.
He's on the way next. Hook it up and track it down. 11:30. Tiger.
You're listening to the Hooking Up and Tracking Down show presented by Cypress Knee Outdoors, Nichols Department Stores, and Louisiana Coastal Conservation Association, making a difference in the future of our waterways. Once again, here's Steve, Gary, Mike, and Jay.
Good morning, or good afternoon. Well, it's still morning, isn't it, Jay? It's still morning.
According to you got 30 minutes.
Okay,
So feel free to
Still
say
morning.
it.
Yeah.
Feel free to say it for the next 2 seconds.
Good morning.
I love
So 11:30 on 11:30 the Tiger.
Hooking up and tracking down. It is 11:30 the Tiger. Gary McCoy along with the old Ranger Pro staffer Steve Graff and the Mud Hen Mike Eccles and Topwater's in there. What are you wearing today? Oh, he's got a high lifter hat on.
Yeah, high lifter.
So are you getting into the four-wheeler stuff?
Oh, I host Mud Nats every year, so they give me
Oh,
some
that's
select-
right. Mud Nationals is what, this weekend, next weekend?
Oh, no, Mud Nationals is in May, I believe.
Oh, no, it's Mud Stock.
Yeah.
Okay.
We've heard of
coming
that.
up.
We've heard of that.
That'd be a good name for a spinnerbait, high lifter.
High lifter.
The high lifter spinnerbait.
Hey, talk to Scott Smith, man. I'm sure
Guaranteed.
he'd be interested.
Sell me the name.
Guaranteed to catch them all. Hey, if you got a few things that need repairing on your duck blind or at the deer camp, United Rentals is your one-stop shop for all your rental tools and equipment needs. Tractor, bush hog, you need generator to get out in the woods, work on that deer stand,
Skylift.
welding machine, sky lifts, you name it. Services like custom on-site solutions, online management tools that will simplify and save you money on any and all of your outdoor projects. With online services and equipment protection plans that will make your job easier and safer. So let United Rentals help to ensure all your deer stands or duck blinds are in the best shape possible. Go to UnitedRentals.com to find a dealer near you. United Rentals It's the largest rental company in the world. Thank you, David Duschel.
You know what? That's a heck of an idea. To just go rent a tractor for a weekend and do your disc and bush hog.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do your food plots?
You better get it now.
Yeah.
You better get in line. I'm gonna tell you. David said that time of the year, it does get insane.
Really?
You know, the guys that
Everybody.
because you don't want to have to pay for a tractor all year long.
No.
You know, and so if you go ahead now, I'm thinking seriously, you could cut now or even next month.
How many guys on your lease?
13.
Y'all could all chip in and buy a tractor.
Wow, we already got tractors.
Oh,
and
well,
we got
you-
David Duschel.
Y'all can all chip in and buy me a tractor.
But, you know, if you go ahead, you know, a lot of guys want to wait until the last minute. I'll wait till the last minute to plant because I'm waiting on rain. I want to make sure that it's right. But you think about how much growth are you going to have even if you go ahead early August and you go ahead and get everything bush hog. How much growth are you going to have that's going to be in your way of trying to till, trying to plant, trying to get it all taken care of? Charlie King on the phone. And, Charlie, Graf told us that you are the second best crappie guide in the whole state of Louisiana.
How about that?
Yeah,
Who
buddy.
would have thunk it? Who would have thunk it? Anyway, hey, thanks for having me on. And number one, I want to congratulate you guys for 10 years of great service. I love your show. Everybody does. So my hat's off to you.
Okay, now, what does it take for you to take over the number one spot next year?
Oh, Lord, I don't know, Gary, because I don't know how in the world I got number two. There's some really good crappie guides around this state. I'll stand in line with them any day. I'm telling you, it's just quite an honor. It was quite an experience to go down in the Superdome and get that award, get my picture taken. And I just hope it can turn into a few more trips.
Well, you know what, Charlie? The guy that did win number one, how old is he? Because, I mean, it's just be pretty easy. He just might not be around next year.
Yeah, all us older guys, you know what we do? We get, Mike, you told me that a long time ago. You said, well, I know what happened to you bass fishing, Charlie. And I said, what? He said, you got old. So all of us old bass fishermen drift off into guide service. And, of course, I was born and raised basically on Lake Bistineau and grew up white perch fishing down here, what we call them white perch. And I just keep that kind of fire burning there that my dad taught me how to do. And just real grateful that I'm able to pass it on. You know, I got a few grandkids that I take out there, and I like to just share the joy of white perch fishing.
Charlie,
No stress about it. You just bring in a mess of fish and fry them and have a good time.
Amen. Now, Charlie, you know, obviously Lake Bistineau is your home. Where else if somebody wanted to go fishing on Darbone or Claiborne or something, do you guide on all the local lakes or just Bistineau?
Absolutely. I had one of the best years I've ever had in my life crappie fishing on Claiborne. From January, February, and March, it was bizarre. We had 25 to 45 fish days, and we'd have 6 or 8 fish over 2 pounds. I was spider rigging up there, and it was just a wonderful winter for me. Clients really were happy with it. Also go to Darbone. I had several trips bass fishing on Darbone. Have not got on the white perch over there like I want to, but I go to Grand Bayou. I got brush tops all over that place. Plus, I spider rig in the winter there. Of course, Bistineau, my home, and Red River. And, of course, Red River's up and down, and with all the rain and everything the past 3 years, it's been tough on me. But if somebody wants to go there, I can go there, too. But I've been picking up quite a few trips up there on Caddo Lake and having, 30, 35 fish days. And the fish seem to be running smaller up there.
What are you averaging on Bistineau?
Average on Bistineau is about 20, but they're usually good fish.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, the hotter it gets, the slower it gets, y'all. The end of July and August has always been crippling for me. So what I try to do is to try to swing folks off on the bass fishing. With the water down here, you can really catch some good fish. Actually, I had an 8.40-pound largemouth on Bistineau the other day. I had 20 others to go with him. And now you know that I encourage catch and release on bass fishing, whether it be Caddo, Bistineau, Red River. And My grandson, since the water was down, he had his 5.27-pound largemouth, his best ever. He's 13. He's really into it now. And white perch fishing, I had a 2.27-pounder the other day. Of course, all of those are on Facebook. If anybody wants to see those pictures, I try to get them up on Facebook and the website.
Now, Charlie, if let's say this fall, when everybody hits the woods, is that a good time to go crappie fishing? October, November? Is that a good time for you?
Oh, goodness gracious. You know what? The only reason I'm deer hunting, I've probably killed 200 in my life, is because I got these grandkids that want to go. But every time I'm sitting in a deer stand in November and December, I'm thinking, dang, I need to be white perch fishing. I tell you, it's all I can do to sit there, and then the next day I say, look, y'all can go hunt, and I'm fixing to go back on the lake.
So which of those months, October, November, as far as a fall trip, would you recommend a good time to go?
Okay, really, the fish get back good in the fall on the brush piles, and I don't know I don't understand it at all, and I've been doing it all my life, but it seems to be September, October, November, I get back on the brush piles really good. And Stephen Johnston explained it, that what happens, and I think he's got a thing on YouTube is what I was looking at, is that the shad and your bait fish really gang up on the brush piles at that time, where as in December, when the water really gets cold, what happens is your bait fish, big balls of shad, start roaming again. And that could be what's going on. But brush pile fishing is good all the way up until the water gets really cold, and then I start spider rigging.
You got to tell me about this spider rigging, because a friend of mine, Dr. Mike Sewell, started doing that last year on Black Bayou, and he says it's the most phenomenal thing. How many poles do you have out at one time?
Oh, it's really fun. I've been spider rigging quite a while now. I've got 4 poles on the front of the boat, on the left side at the very front of the boat, and then I've got 4 poles on the right side at the very front of the boat. And I just kind of ease around very slowly, and I use sometimes jigs, sometimes live bait, just depending on the mood of the fish. And actually, with my Lowrance depth runners now, with the down scan, I can see these schools of fish doing, and back, because it's shooting off the transom. So when I see these schools of fish, I will back up just a little bit, and all of a sudden you'll see number 1 or number 2 going off left side, number 2, number 3 going off on right, and it gets pandemonium.
Wow.
2 people are up front jerking and pulling on them, and usually we're deep, and I'm hustling, man. I'm working my butt off to keep these lines baited. And of course, with 8 poles out, you get tangled up, and in the wind, my goodness, I own my keep, I'll tell you.
Well, Charlie, if you've got 8 poles out, are they all set the same depth, or is that your variation?
No, well, you vary them until you find them, Mike, and then whenever you find them, you get them all down at the right depth. And it just depends on the mood of the fish. Like I say, sometimes you'll be in 20 foot of water and catch them 10 feet deep. Sometimes you'll catch them 20 feet, 19 feet, just a foot off the bottom. So I hadn't figured that out either. Sometimes they're up, sometimes they're down. But generally speaking, though, January and February, the water's done cooled off to really push the fish down then.
So I want you to sum something up, and this is going to be hard to do. Minnows or jigs? What? Okay, wait a sec. Not day to day. I'm talking about season to season. Could you say, just as a general rule, that in the spring I generally use shiners more often than jigs, or during the winter I use jigs all the time, something like that?
Okay. 90% of the time in the winter, Daryl around at Mr. Twister's going to kill me for saying this, but 90% of the time I'm using live bait. The other percent of the time I'm using Mr. Twister, those teeny, I can't remember the name, but they're teeny. They're little 2-inch with a curly tail.
Curly tail grubs, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I will use those babies too, off and on, sporadically. It just depends, Mike, but when I want to throw those in there. But 90% of the time I'm using live bait. I'm going to tell you why. If you're using jigs, especially if you're jigging over a brush pile, there is an art to that, okay? Your novice fishermen that just want to pull a white perch in, and have a fish fry, I'm going to have them on live bait.
Right.
If I got somebody out there that knows how to work a jig, and it is a little art to it, then I will go with jigs 100%. It's more of a challenge for me and somebody who knows how to fish if we can get us a mess of fish, using jigs.
Yeah.
Live bait is pretty much of a do-nothing rig. You sit there, you wait till the tip of that pole hits that water, and then you start pulling them on up, And
now, Charlie,
like
when does it require? I know some guys that are big crappie fishermen on Sibley Lake at Natchitoches, which is a big white perch lake. When they want to tip the jig with the shiner, what calls for that? If they're not hitting the shiner, they just put they'll tip it with the shiner on the jig. I mean, what?
Yeah, good question. I ran into that I'm going to say 5 years ago on Grand Bayou. For some reason, they wasn't, you catch 4 or 5 fish on a jig, 4 or 5 fish on a shiner. But then I bumped into a guy that said, I've been tipping my jigs. And I went, huh? He said, yeah. He said, I put a shiner on my jigs, and I had 30, and I was sitting there with like a dozen, Well, dang. So I ran into that down there. Now, again, the white perch are moody as heck. They're here today and gone tomorrow. Sometimes they want that, sometimes they don't. It's an experimental thing, and I'm so hard-headed. And of course, all you three guys know that more than anybody. But I will stick, and I will drown with what worked yesterday, So you have to be flexible and try these different combinations.
Right.
If there is a number one color for, this is the only color jig you got in your box, and you're going to fish Bistineau, you're going to fish Black Lake, you're going to fish Caddo. What's that number one color for you?
It will be a 16th ounce hair jig in the color of white with a red collar. Believe it or not.
Wow. Would you take that to Lake Early?
Okay, that's my number one color on the jigs. Okay, I've got one second best too. Electric Chicken.
Yeah, buddy.
It is a chartreuse and pink combination, and that is the number 2 color.
Wouldn't you say overall though, the Electric Chicken is probably the most popular color around?
Absolutely, and the Cajun Cricket is the most popular color around.
Cajun Cricket, I haven't seen that one.
Cajun Cricket is orange in chartreuse. Electric Chicken is pink in chartreuse.
Okay, the Bistineau Special, what colors are in that?
The Bistineau Special is like, I call it like LSU. You got a chartreuse head, you got you got a pink head, you got the collar that's purple, and then you have a chartreuse tail. Now that's on a hair jig there. That's real close to a plastic on a plastic jig. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Without a doubt. Now, if you were hunting some big old monster crappie,
I'm going with my white straight up. Now you're talking to somebody who really likes fishing the jig. Now again, when I get my clients in the boat to put fish in the boat, we're going live bait 90% of the time. But if I'm out there practicing and hunting fish, I got my grandson or whatever, and I'm going to go with that white. And I have had some hogs on that thing this year.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
Now, Charlie, a good friend of yours, has just asked a question. Johnny Geis wants to know, do you ever tip your jigs with a grass shrimp?
I have never done that in my life.
Yeah.
I do. I have.
I'm going to tell you what.
I have.
It sounds really good, though.
Where'd you find grass shrimp?
Mike was eating the shrimp. He
Well,
wasn't.
that's fixing to say. I did it with that cocktail sauce got all over your hands while you were fishing.
He was eating the shrimp. He ain't tipping nothing.
I've gotten them before with a little basket with a wire mesh on it. Go down on the lake's edge, and scoop them a few up out of the vegetation right on the banks. I've done that before. It's been years ago, but I have done that. And,
you were hungry back then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you what. It's catch and eat down here on Lake Bistineau. I'm living in the old family camp now. My poor daddy, he died about 4 years ago and left me the camp, and I rented my house in Bossier, and I moved down here on the lake just so I could be close to him and the memories and the water.
There you go. There you go.
But I do. I fish everywhere, and everything in northwest Louisiana. I've even had day trips over to Rayburn before. Rayburn is really hot off and on. Sometimes just a 25 fish limit. You can get everybody in the boat can get a limit in like a couple of hours, and which is really good. But they come and go just like everywhere else. But Red River can be really good as well as Bistineau, and like I say, up on Claiborne. And I've done pretty dadgum good on Caddo for me this year with some good trips up there.
Charlie, if somebody wants to get in the boat with you, what's the best way for them to reach you? Is it on Facebook? Is it to call you? What?
Okay, you can go with Facebook. Just search Charlie King and then put fishing behind it. I should pop right up. That's on Facebook. My website is Red River Fishing LA. One word, redriverfishingla.com. And you can reach me on the website. Now, the website's a little behind. I've been so busy this summer fishing, I haven't had time to put some good pictures on there, but I've still got a lot of pictures on there right now. And like I say, I really started going about full-time about a year ago. And Patrick Dennis at Bayou Outdoor 365, I want to thank him. Jimmy Watson, Shreveport Times, thank him also. They kind of helped me get it going last summer when I went full-time fishing. And I'm down working. You know, I'm a registered nurse by trade, and I'm down to 1 day a week. I'd like to let that go, but I want to keep my skills up. You don't want to quit your day job, right, Gary?
Amen.
You know, that's the last thing I want is a guy to come in the operating room smelling like fish. You know,
Yeah, I heard that.
You know what now? I might trust him more if he smelled
Yeah,
like
that'd
fish.
be me.
I know he and I could probably communicate at that point. Charlie King, congratulations, 2017.
Let me throw something in really quick here. I want to thank Ranger Boats. I've been with them since '99. Mercury Marine, Quantum Rod and Reels, Vicious Fishing Line, Bayou Outdoor Super Center, and Mr. Twister. I want to give a thanks to all those folks because they sure helped me out.
You betcha, brother.
Thank you, Charlie.
Hey, nobody like Charlie King.
He's one of a kind.
Hey, thank y'all.
Love you, brother. 2017 runner-up Best Crappie Guide of the Year by Best of Louisiana Outdoors. He's Charlie King. Check him out on Facebook. We're hooking up and tracking down 11:30. The Tiger.
They love us country boys, yeah.
At Hooking Up and Tracking Down, we love to be social. So check out our Facebook page at Hooking Up and Tracking Down Show for outdoors news and some interesting as well as educational outdoor videos. This segment presented by Toledo Town and Tackle, United Rentals, Santone Lures, and Lake Fork guide Johnny Geis. For a great day in the water with Johnny, go to lakeforkbigfish.com and schedule your next fishing getaway. Take it away, guys. Yeah, don't forget that the Hooking Up and Tracking Down show airs again on Saturday mornings from 6 to 8 right here on 1130 The Tiger, home of the LSU Tigers and the Hooking Up and Tracking Down show.
Oh, and by the way, Jay, aren't they making a special announcement today at 4 o'clock about NFL on KWKH?
You know what?
That's
a good question.
That's what I heard on. That's what I heard on Tim Fletcher's show this morning.
NFL, National Fishing League.
Yeah, there you go.
And Jay Watley is making that announcement.
So I would trust Fletcher's word on it.
So tune in at 4 o'clock today, 11:30 The Tiger.
If you say so, yeah.
If you want to know what NFL is coming to Shreveport somehow.
If Steve Graff is saying it.
I'm just telling you. I heard it this morning. Are those guys ever wrong?
Never once.
I didn't think so.
Well, Rogers is. Often.
Well, Rogers has a mental disability.
I tell you what, if that's true, if they're really going to make an announcement about the NFL coming to Shreveport, I can tell you what it is.
All right, go ahead and tell us.
No, I'm not. But when we go off the air, I will tell y'all what it is.
Really?
And y'all are going to be upset that I knew it and you didn't.
I already know what it is, but we'll see if you're right.
Well, I'm right.
We need some outdoor outlaw music. We got to rein this back in. Somehow or another, Eccles is even talking to NFL now.
There you go.
I'm not.
You know this has gone amok. Agents cited Christian Canatella, 21, and Lucas LeBlanc, 21, for taking deer during a closed season. Taking deer during illegal hours with the aid of artificial light, hunting deer from a moving vehicle, and hunting deer using illegal methods. Agents were notified by an anonymous informant of illegal night hunting activity near Melville. Where's Melville? Y'all know?
Melville.
Yeah.
I have no
It's
idea.
in Louisiana.
Yeah, it's in Louisiana.
Upon investigating the tip, agents discovered that Canatella and LeBlanc allegedly harvested one antlerless deer the morning of July 12th. Who's wanting to kill a deer in July?
Yeah.
That's the last thing on my brain is shooting a deer in July.
Can you imagine being in the woods?
Agents, well, they weren't. Agents learned the two men were out spotlighting a deer on a utility task vehicle.
Oh.
And used a 17 caliber rifle to harvest an antlerless deer. Agents seized the 17 caliber rifle and the clean deer meat. The deer meat was later donated to a local charity. Hunting deer during the closed season and during illegal hours with artificial light carries a $900 to $950 fine, up to 120 days in jail. Hunting from a moving vehicle and taking deer using illegal methods each carries a $250 to $500 fine and up to 90 days in jail. Canatella and LeBlanc may also face civil restitution totaling $1,624.61 for the replacement value of the illegally taken deer. And I got to tell y'all one thing. This is politics. We just did NFL. We got to do one thing on politics because this does happen Tuesday, August 1st, this coming Tuesday in the state of Louisiana. Our state law has changed. My brother-in-law, as you know, is a judge, and he is upset. State law has changed effective Tuesday. You can get something like this. You can go to jail. Let's say that you robbed a bank and you got away with $200,000, and the state orders you to pay civil restitution. If you can't afford it, they can't make you pay it. And he is upset.
Yeah, let's make it easier for the criminal.
He says essentially, really now, it can pay to steal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crime.
That's the state of Louisiana. That's the state that we're in right now.
Mike, you go ahead and do yours, and if we have time, I'll do the last one.
Okay. Man was rescued after trying to hike 9,301 foot peak in shorts and tank top during a snowstorm.
Do what?
Yeah.
But you got to hear what he was hiking for.
People will go to extraordinary lengths for the things they love. And the last week, an Arizona man set out to climb 9,301 foot Mount Eldon to prove his devotion to the one thing that unites us all. This says pizza. I was thinking of something else.
Pizza.
Yeah, pizza. Okay. Pizza what? The hiker, who had not been named, hit the trail early last Tuesday in response to a promotion by a Flagstaff pizzeria that offered a coupon. That's Ron White. Coupon for a free pie to anyone who hiked or biked to the top of Eldon during the 21-day Giro d'Italia cycling race. I must have missed that one. Things quickly went south for the shorts and tank top clad hiker who developed hypothermia when the temperatures dropped. He was either unaware of the weather forecast or disregarded the forecast and set off ill-prepared, wearing shorts and light clothing, the sheriff's department said in a statement. The hiker was spotted by a Forest Service ranger in a guard tower who came to his aid and found him shivering heavily and showing early signs of hypothermia. The man went on to make a full recovery. However, he was unable to eat the pizza because he lost all his fingers to the frostbite.
Have you ever got caught up in a bad storm though, and all of a sudden, you had been in shorts, and it's cold. It started raining. It's a cold rain.
Coldest I've been is in June after a rain, and the temperature dropped about 12 to 15 degrees. I about froze my tail off. Oh, it is miserable. I can't stand to be cold.
No, especially when you're cold and wet.
Yes. I launched at Drift In Landing on Caddo Lake one day and fished the trees there because there had been some current. It was the 1st of April. The wind swapped. It rained. I was in a T-shirt. It rained. I got soaking wet, cold. I left the lake. I went to work at the fire station, and we watched the front come through from Central Fire Station. It had been warm. It rained. It turned to sleet. It hailed, and it had snow flurries, and then we had a rainbow all in the course of a few hours.
Oh, my God.
Yes.
Wow.
So this guy might not be that big an idiot.
Oh, he's stupid.
We got one more here.
I couldn't help it.
Gate On Man pleads guilty. Judge Carol B. Whitehurst of Western District Court accepted a guilty plea by Lane T. Thibodeau. That's Boudreaux's brother. Boudreaux's brother. Yeah. Boudreaux Thibodeau. Yeah. 21 for taking a whooping crane, for which there is no season, taking migratory game birds out of season from a moving vehicle without a Louisiana license, wanton waste of migratory game birds. Judge Whitehurst sentenced Thibodeau to serve 45 days in federal prison for each of the 5 convictions to run concurrently and a $2,500 fine. He must pay his fine in full within 1 year, or he will have to serve the 45 days in federal prison. Confidential informants told agents Thibodeau was the person that shot the whooping crane. Agents obtained, Boudreaux probably told on him. Agents obtained Thibodeau's phone and collected videos and photos showing Thibodeau shooting migratory game birds from a moving vehicle off a public road near where the whooping crane was found.
What did he shoot it for?
I don't know.
Gumbo.
The phone also contained information of Thibodeau being involved in illegal narcotic activity.
Well, that's why he shot it.
That's it. All adds up now. Which was turned over to the Vermilion Parish Narcotics Task Force.
I'll trade you this whooping crane for a pound of pot.
Folks, it just don't get no better than this. I don't know. I don't know what to say.
I say don't let him pay. Put him in jail. Make him go to jail.
You know what? Now, I have been seeing a whole bunch of cranes. Is it Sand Hill cranes? I've been seeing a whole bunch of cranes on Bistineau over the last month.
Oh,
cranes that I've never seen. I don't know if they're whooping cranes, Sand Hill cranes. I've never seen, anybody that pointed out the difference. But they're not the cranes we normally have.
You will find every year that they drain Bistineau and it gets extremely low, there'll be some of the most crazy exotic birds you see come to the lake to feed.
Yeah. Those Mexican whistler ducks are everywhere.
Have y'all ever had the Sand Hill crane to eat?
No.
They say it's best bird
ribeye in the sky.
Ribeye in the sky. You know, I've never had one.
Well, there's some kind of cranes down there, and they're beautiful. There's just jillions of them down there. We're hooking up and tracking down 11:30, the Tiger.
You gonna do? Yeah. Bad boys, bad boys.
That's right, it's hour 2 of the best outdoor show on radio, hooking up and tracking down. This segment presented by Ranger Boats, the Bob Seeley Big Bass Splash Series, along with Despino and Jim's Big South Tire, reminding you to rotate your tires every oil change in order to extend the life of your tires. Now back to Jay Watley, Gary McCoy, Mike Eccles, and the Dink Master, Steve Graff.
Hey, have you seen our new our new website? Well, check it out. HUTDshow.com is a great source for all things related to the great outdoors, including local weather, recipes, calendar of events, and the latest blog from yours truly, Steve Graff. Coming soon, HUTD video tips, reviewing products and situations that will help make you a better outdoorsman. Also, catch one of our latest shows by going to our video archives and catch up on whatever you missed on today's show. Go to HUTDshow.com to see more. That's HUTDshow.com for the best resource for outdoor news and information in the world.
Did you say Grandma's blackberry dumplings?
Dude, I posted that. I almost had to go make them immediately myself.
James Watson. James Watson's on the phone with us. James Watson, Are you up for some Grandma's blackberry dumplings?
I would love a big old extra scoop of Grandma's blackberry dumplings.
Don't you need like some bluebell sitting right on top of those?
Oh my God!
Wouldn't that be good just to sit there and be able to pick them blackberry seeds out of your teeth for the next hour?
sit on the front porch.
It's worth it.
Right on the bank of the lake, and it's like early April and the sun's just starting to set. Dude, would that be awesome or what? James Watson on the phone, FLW Pro and Team USA member. That's kind of a new deal, isn't it? I mean, this is going to be a big, big deal for American anglers.
I think so. I was ecstatic when approached by Charlie Evans. Hey, do you want to be a part of this team? This is an idea we've had for years, and so on and so forth. And I looked at Charlie and I said, you really have to ask me that question. So I said, sign me up, Charlie. Tell me where I need to be. Tell me what I need to have in my rucksack and where to catch my flight. And I'm gone.
And then he said South Africa, and you backed out.
he said South Africa, and I thought to myself, well, when was my last
tetanus shot?
Gluten shot in the Army. I was like, oh boy, I'm gonna have to go get some shots. So I got them on store Monday. I go Monday and take all my shots.
Oh, do you? And when does this event take place, Charlie? I mean, James.
This we're gonna fly out the 30th of September. Hit the ground the 1st of October, and it'd be that first week of October.
Okay. And is this a 2-day, 3-day, 4-day event? How's this formatted?
It is I believe it's 3 days. I don't have everything here in front of me. I've been managing all the logistics of it. I'm going to start my research on actually how to approach the water we're going to, how long we're going to be fishing. But I believe we practice for 2 days and fish for 3, or practice for 2.5 and fish for 3. I'm not certain of that.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Hey James, is this being South Africa? Is this their fall or is this their spring or?
It's their spring.
Okay,
I do know that.
Yeah,
and there is a potential that.
So the piranhas will be on the nest.
Yeah, it will be bedding piranhas and everything else down there. But, I'll be ready for anything they throw at me. That's for sure.
Well,
I haven't been overseas in a while.
I was going to ask you, have you fished, in many countries outside of North America, and that would be inclusive of Mexico and United States and Canada. Have you fished much outside of that era?
Just Panama. I went to U.S. Army Jungle School in Panama in 1996 and got to fish a lake called Lake Canton, and that's it. And that was for peacock bass.
Would you
jungle school?
Yeah, I'm thinking. Are we Marine? We Army? What are we?
So if another angler cuts you off, you'll you'll jump over in his boat with paint on your face and cut his head off.
He'll put guerrilla warfare on him.
Yeah. I don't get messed with it very much because of my military background.
Were you Marine or were you Army?
I was all Army.
And did that for how many years?
Almost 9.
Oh wow!
So you were a Billy Badass.
This is Mr. Watson now.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm still it's Sergeant Watson, but that was back when I was young.
Wow.
I was an engineer in the Army. Matter of fact, I'm sitting outside the front gates of Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri.
That's where I did basic training at Fort Leonard Wood. I was there in 1981 or 82, 1982.
Showing your age. So,
yeah.
Yeah, I did basic training right here in 1993, and then in 1999 I put the drill sergeant hat on and did basic training 18 more times.
Wow.
I bet you was a rough drill sergeant.
I was just like I am now.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah.
Okay, back to fishing.
Let's go back to fishing.
James, what type of I know you got to have some type of idea what type of terrain or what type of lake you're going to have over there, and what type of the fishing is going to be. What size? They got giant fish over there, or they all have teeth, or what?
No, they do have good-sized fish over there. It's not uncommon. I've heard, again, what little research and what little chatter I've heard, it's not uncommon to have 17 to 20-pound bags over there. And the time we get there, we're going to be in there's still a lot of be some spawning going on. So right now, that's all I know about the area. You know, the best thing I know about is we've got a hellacious team. I mean, you look at the hammers. I'm probably I wouldn't say the weakest of the 8. I'm definitely not the strongest. You look at, we got Scott Canterbury, Dave Fritz, Scott Martin. I mean, look at the line of Mark Rose. Look at these hammers: Fred Robanis, Lionel Blothel, myself. I don't know if I missed anybody or not.
We didn't call out Steve Graff, but we.
Well, that's right. Yeah, I wasn't included. Charlie didn't ask me. Yeah, I was a little ticked off. I almost didn't have Charlie on there at ICAST.
Hey, now I got. Is there like when you guys show up? Is this an individual event or is this a team weight? How does this work?
It's going to be a team event.
So it's a cumulative weight. So the 8 guys weigh 160 pounds for the day, or what?
I'm sorry, guys. I don't know the details of that, but I know there'll be 2 of us and team members per boat.
Okay.
All right. Well, let's move on from that. Let's go to the FLW Cup. I know you're getting ready for that, and I know you know a little bit about Lake Murray. What's it going to take to win that event?
Man, I'm telling you what, Lake Murray's a tough pond this time of year. I think if a guy cracked him 2 days, he had 12, 13-pound days, and maybe one good 15, 16-pound day, is liable to win this thing.
Wow. That sounds like Red River.
Yeah. It's going to be not going to be massive weights. It's not going to be tons and tons of fish caught. I mean, for crying out loud, guys, it's August. We're melting right now.
I spent 2 days on 2 bodies of water in East Texas yesterday without a bite for about 8 hours. So it was freaking brutal.
Is that uncommon for you?
No, it's not.
Okay, let her rip, Tater Chip.
Okay, which one of you 2 guys called James Watson?
My new best friend.
Thanks for the update.
Your reputation precedes you, Graff.
Hey, there's 2 other people in the boat with me that didn't get a bite either. So there you go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, enforce that. Maybe they'll learn not to go with you next time.
Yeah, it'll be the last time James Watson will be on this show.
No, it won't.
I'm calling him next week. In preparation for this, though, what do you this time of the year? Do you just kind of slow down to a crawl, or are you still wide open?
I'm wide open, boys. I'm telling you, this is my time of the year. I don't get to fish that often. I'm a really good, really confident fisherman this time of year, from here till the 1st of December, because for me it's easier. Most guys do slow down. I speed up another notch. I'm a big topwater fan, and I don't do a whole lot of brush pile dragging and stuff like that. I love boat docks. I love topwater. I love chasing bait, although blueback herring form a different challenge.
Now, James, does somebody in this competition in this field, is this their home body of water?
Yes, Anthony Gagliardi.
Oh, he's a pretty good stick. Anthony's pretty good stick.
He's beyond good. He's excellent.
Yeah, he is.
Definitely somebody that's, definitely going to be the most highly, everybody's going to predict him to win.
Right.
Put it that way.
James, we got one standard question that I love to get the answer to.
I'm just thinking about that.
I love getting the answer to this for the simple reason that so far everyone has had the same response.
Except me.
Except Graff. And that explains everything right there.
No bite Graff.
Exactly. That's our boy. You think back now, 20 years ago, what do you wish that you had 20 years ago at your disposal that wasn't available then that you have now? And it could be the new boats, it could be the new tackle, it could be baits, electronics. What do you wish you had 20 years ago?
Okay, get in a time machine and go back 20 years and take one thing with you to a tournament.
I'd have to say that the knowledge that I've got.
No, we want a material thing. We
Yeah,
want
something
yeah.
that you can purchase.
Yeah.
I could have said knowledge. That ain't gonna work.
or lack of.
If I'm not gonna say electronics or boats and all that. Most people probably think. I'm gonna say one lure. I'm gonna say 2 lures. No, I'm gonna say something else.
No, say.
I'm gonna say braided line and a fast top water lure like a Zoom horny toad or a river to sea whopper plopper. That's changed my world.
Wow.
Wow.
Do you know what
The
the number?
horny
You know what
toad-
the number one response has been?
Electronics.
No.
It's a bait.
No what?
It is a bait.
It's a bait.
A Cinco.
Cinco.
Yep.
All right. Well, I've caught my fair share on that.
Now the whopper plopper, that thing made such a huge splash over the course of the last 12 months. Has it become your go-to topwater?
No, I'd still say my go-to topwater is a toad style bait, whether it's on a buzz bait or not.
When you're reading the water, what tells you, hey, they'll hit that whopper plopper here?
Clarity, mostly clarity, and the visible sign of bait fish and how close those bait fish are to the bank.
And do you like the bigger one or the smaller one?
Bigger one.
Bigger one.
130.
Do you ever throw
Although
the smaller one?
Yeah, I threw it all day long yesterday on a Flat Creek on a float with Jeff Letcher. And we caught 57 smallmouth on it.
Really? Yeah, I should have been with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, except
57
James said,
bass.
"Won't
I had
you
a
with
lot
him?"
more bites. Yeah, we had a lot more bites than that, though, Steve.
Yeah.
All it took was one to beat Steve.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
What color on that whopper plopper?
I keep my colors real simple. There's a transparent one. I forgot the name of that, to be honest with you, but I use the black one and I use the bone one.
Are you the same way with frogs?
Yeah.
Do you keep basics, in the frog department as far as, a black or a green or a yellow or a white?
I keep it real basic. I got a brown, I got a black, and I got a white or a white or a white.
A white or a white. Will there be much of a frog bite on Murray?
Oh yeah.
Really?
It's good. It's going to be a top water. It's going to be a top water deal. It's going the jewel of it would probably, or the X factor of the whole deal will probably be whether or not somebody finds a couple brush piles to get a couple key bites out of brush piles, bigger brush piles.
All right, now I'm going to put you on the spot. Of all the anglers in the tournament, just which one does James Watson just want to kick his ass?
Fishing or military style?
Yeah, no, we're talking about fishing.
No.
Who do you just want to just torch him this week?
I'm going to say all of them. I got a pretty good rivalry in a fun way going with my old buddy Scott Suggs right now. I'm going to lay the smack down on Scott Suggs.
You can talk some smack. I've seen you talk smack, including this show.
Yeah, I got some skills. If I can get paid on talking smack, I'd be the best one out there.
Brother, thank you for hanging out with us.
Yeah, well, thanks for having me, guys. I appreciate it. I've been overrun because Major League Fishing started re-airing some of them shows that I was on at Center Hill and Dale Hollow and stuff.
Yeah.
So,
Well, we're going to have you back, and we're going to have some Grandma's blackberry dumplings with bluebell on top of them.
Yeah. Thank you for the insults, James. Appreciate it.
You're welcome, Steve. Thanks for
problem.
inviting me over to insult you.
No problem. I'll put it this way: you can win the freaking cup. You'll never be back on here.
Hey, Eccles and I will put your check in the mail today.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, brother.
I knew somebody around there writes the check.
Yeah. FLW Pro and Team USA member James Watson. What a great guy. Good luck to him in the
Cut
in
him
the
off,
cup.
Jay. Cut that phone off.
We are hooking up and tracking down 11:30. The Tiger.
Just a reminder that you can catch us again Saturday mornings from 6 till 8 here on 1130 The Tiger. This segment presented by Natchitoches Ford, Wildwood Resort at Toledo Bend, and the Cowboys Wild Game Washer. If you don't have a game washer, you've got to have one of these. Go to GameWasher.com to learn more. Now back to the guys who could use a good washing: Gary, Steve, Mike, and Jay.
Man, what a great show so far. Just had FLW Pro James Watson on with the truth about Graph. Also, Charlie King was on the show today, and a great friend of all three of us. He's been a friend, 25, 30 years in my case.
Great guy.
At least.
Yeah. And just recently named the runner-up 2017 Best Crappie Guide of the Year by Best of Louisiana Outdoors. Also got Jackie Raines on the way. Jackie's going to be talking about the Quality Deer Management Association, QDMA, and the big banquet coming up. What's going on? That is tomorrow night.
Yep.
And he's giving away tickets.
Yes.
You are?
Yeah, we're giving away 2 pair of tickets sometime during the interview.
Okay.
Jackie Raines. So if you want to go to the QDMA banquet tomorrow night and you do not have some friend that's already bought a table, tune in.
Where do they do that?
It's going to be at Riverview Hall.
Okay, that's the old, right beside the
Why
convention
don't we
center.
go ahead and do that now, and that way we can announce the winners when we have him on.
No, we'll do it during the interview.
Okay.
Yeah, that'll work.
All right.
So we got something to do right now.
Okay.
You're always getting on us getting out of sync.
BASS has just released the 2018 schedule, and you know the first thing I noticed on there?
Yeah. What was it?
Toledo ain't there.
No, it ain't there.
I'll tell you the first thing I noticed. I thought they had cut back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 elite tournaments.
Yeah, it used to be 11.
But then they dropped back to about
8.
6. Yeah, 8.
Went to 8
They
at
did
one
that
point.
because of the gas when the gas prices went so high. That was when they cut back the tournament schedule. But I noticed Toledo was not there. Cross Lake's still not on there. I keep rooting for Cross every year. One year it's going to be on there. Eccles, you got some stroke with BASS.
But now, wait a minute. There really is only 8 still elite tournaments.
Okay.
Because you don't count Bass Fest, you don't count the Classic, you don't count Angler of the Year Championship.
Does the Toyota Bassmaster, the Texas thing, does that count?
It counts in terms of going to the Classic.
Okay, so you do get points.
You do get points.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but anyway, I was to be announced. They hadn't announced where that Texas Bass Fest is going.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping it goes back to Rayburn again because that place is it's just on fire. But it'd be interesting to see where they take the Texas Bass Fest. Usually they do 2 years in a row at the same location.
Yeah, they did Fork twice.
Yeah, did Ford, did Conroe.
Yeah.
And they did Rayburn once. We'll see if they go back to it again.
You know what I saw, though, is they are going back down to the Sabine in South Texas.
Yep.
And I'm thinking to myself, that really, I don't know, that to me, that tournament, that wasn't that big a weight. It wasn't that it was a great fishery.
It's a tough place to fish. Yeah.
I think they just had a great turnout crowd-wise.
Oh, they do. They had a great turnout.
And that explains a lot because, like Mike has told us before, it doesn't really have a whole lot to do with how many fish the anglers catch.
Yeah, quality of fishing is way down on the number of things that an organization looks at when they start trying to schedule a tournament, especially of this size.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So.
I guess the first and foremost consideration is, can this body of water accommodate this full field of fishermen?
Yeah.
And then do you have the the facility to have the weigh-ins?
And can this place manage the financial obligation that goes with this coming?
That's really probably number one.
Before you even enter into the other stuff. Yeah.
Do you guys ever see, I've always wondered why, now Texoma's hosted the Classic before, hadn't it? One time when Hank Parker won it, it was Texoma. One of his wins was at Texoma.
Sure.
And I just wondered, they've never been back to that neck of the woods again. And I've always wondered, that's so close to Dallas, I think, man, that's a great place for a world championship.
Oh, yeah, it's 3 hours away from Dallas? Sure, let's drive that every day.
No, it's not even 3 hours. It's like an hour and a half.
No, it's way.
No, Denton is just north of Dallas, guys.
Dude, have you driven through Dallas
You
lately?
can do 90 on the interstate now. You can't do 55. But anyway.
James Watson, you were right again.
My deal is they're going back to the East Coast this year for the Classic. Of course, we've had it here.
Well, why don't we read it? I mean, we're talking about it. Why don't we do it? 2018 Bassmaster Elite schedule. Lake Martin in Alexander City, Alabama. They will be there February the 8th through the 11th.
Where is that? Is that like a spotted bass kind of a lake?
Sure.
Okay.
Okay.
Whatever you say, Gary.
Okay, since y'all gonna sit there, the 2018
Those cranes are called
Geico
Ibis.
Bassmaster Classic presented by Dick's Sporting Good, Lake Hartwell, Greenville, South Carolina, March 16th and 8th through the 18th.
There you go. I'm glad you get the dates because I don't have them.
Oh, okay. I just thought you were sitting there with your thumb up your butt.
No, I don't have the dates.
Bassmaster Elite, Bassmaster Elite at Sabine River, Orange, Texas, April the 6th through the 9th. They will go to Grand Lake in Grove, Oklahoma. April
Great place.
26th through the 29th. You must have got a bite there.
I did. I had several.
The Elite will go to Kentucky Lake in Paris, Tennessee, May the 4th through
My
the 7th.
father-in-law actually helped build that lake.
Really?
Yeah.
Kentucky Lake.
Kentucky Lake.
My second favorite body of water to ever go to.
He helped. He actually cut timber in the bottom of that lake and
That
drug it
place
up.
Wow.
is a
hills and
great
stuff.
fishery.
The Toyota Bassmasters Texas Fest, benefiting the Texas Parks and Wildlife, that will be May 17th through the 20th. It doesn't say where it is.
No, it's to be announced.
To be determined.
Yeah, to be determined.
TBD.
Yeah.
Okay, the Elite will go to the Mississippi River out of La Crosse, Wisconsin, June the 21st through the 24th. Then Lake
What is that one?
Oahe.
O-A-H-E.
Ahe.
Wait,
It doesn't matter. It's in Pierre, South Dakota.
Who goes bass fishing in South Dakota? And you say no to Toledo Bend?
The Elite Series?
But you go to South Dakota? Come on.
You'll actually have to weed through the walleye on that lake right there to catch bass.
I'm just telling that just blows my
That'll
mind.
be June the 29th through the July the 2nd. Then there'll be Chesapeake Bay at Havre de Grace, Maryland.
Yeah, Maryland.
July 26th through the 29th. St. Lawrence River in Waddington, New York.
I just watched that event, guys. The fishermen said hands down that is the best place they have gone in 10 years.
Really?
Hands down. It wasn't even a contest.
Smallmouth?
Smallmouth and largemouth.
Really?
Combination of both.
Well,
they said the
they'll
fishing was
be
incredible.
back there August the 23rd to the 26th. The Toyota Bassmaster Angler of the Year Championship to be determined. Location September the 20th through the 23rd, and the Bassmaster Classic bracket to be determined September the 25th through the 26th. Hey,
Yeah. All right.
USA Bass Team announced. Oh,
Yeah. You're through talking. Stop. Okay.
Boy, it kills your soul for somebody
U.S.
else to have
Angling-
control of the mic that long.
U.S.
doesn't it?
Angling announced the members of the
Mr. I'm a
2017 USA Bass Team, which will be competing in 2017. Which we just talked about this, and but we got a little bit of detail. And from what's his name?
He forgot David Dudley.
James Watson. He did forget David Dudley. David Dudley is the first guy to reach what? To win in a tournament $1 million.
Oh, was he really?
First guy. Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. You're talking about an FLW.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, period.
Because Larry Nick,
To win $1 million in an event.
Oh, to win a $1 million event.
Yeah.
Wow.
David Dudley did that.
Wow.
Yeah.
What paid $1 million?
It was one of the FLW events.
One of the boss tournaments
Years
I
ago.
put up.
Hey, Larry, we've been needing to talk to you. There's going to come a check, too.
Yeah. But there are some really good anglers on here. Scott Martin, David Dudley, Mark Rose. Mark Rose is a great angler. David Fritz, one of the old school guys. James Watson, Scott Canterbury, Fred Rubanis, and this one here is the guy from South Africa, Lionel Botha. So he's one of the South African guys that they actually put on the team for a little inside information on South Africa fishing.
Ah. What was the
They
guy's
got a
name?
ringer.
What was the guy's name that came over here?
Jerry Eustace.
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 Yeah.
Pronounced-
What a
starts
great
with
angler.
Starts with J, pronounced with an A.
I used to love the way he talked.
Yep.
You know, that's when we met Cliff
Cliff
Swift.
Swift, yeah.
When he first came over here from South
Iaconelli
Africa.
was in that event when just
At Red River. Yeah.
They'll compete against 15 other national teams from countries such as Russia, Spain, Italy, South Africa, and Mexico. The Bass Fishing World Championship is predicted to be an Olympic-style sport event where countries compete for medals, according to U.S. Angling. It's part of a growing effort to make bass fishing an Olympic sport. An application for recognition has already been submitted to the International Olympic Committee to get free baits and help kids with military programs. Click here. So that all tied in together.
Click here.
All right.
The Holy Angels tournament. You got the
what
bridge
about the bridge
closed.
closed?
Yeah.
You go ahead and do that.
Well, it's not the bridge. Traffic is still open on the Lake Bistineau Bridge.
So,
They call it the pier located in
Yeah, the
Bossier
fishing
Parish.
pier.
Consists
Yeah.
of a portion of the old Highway 154 bridge.
Well, I tell you.
That was abandoned when Officer Thomas LaValle Memorial Bridge was completed in 2002. The pier will remain closed until further notice.
Okay, why?
It doesn't really
I
say.
think that there was some structure. There were some integrity issues on the old bridge, and they're real nervous about that.
Safety precaution, yes.
Yeah, and so I think that they're doing some inspection of that old bridge. They don't want it to break, fall, somebody get hurt.
Exactly.
Other than that, it should be good to go. If it clears all the inspections, everything will be all right.
Now, we also got the Holy Angels event coming up.
Holy Angels coming up August 26th.
Yep.
Numbers of different lakes around the community that you can fish. I noticed that Cross Lake wasn't on there. I didn't realize that Cross Lake wouldn't be
now
one.
that you say it, you're right.
Cross Lake is not one of the lakes that you can fish.
It's
Black
not-
Lake, Campsie,
not listed.
Caddo Lake,
You're
Grand Bayou, Lake Bistineau, Red River, or Toledo Bend.
Wow.
And last year, you and I fished Toledo Bend.
Yeah.
We had a limit of fish like
did-
10
we
minutes
did.
after we started.
We
They
did
just
pretty
weren't.
good.
They weren't big as a minute.
No, they weren't. But we did all right.
This year, you're fishing with Brett Hortman.
No, we're not. Unfortunately, we won't be in that event. So
Oh, you're not going to get to fish.
we have a pre-arranged other deal we have to attend. So
Well,
didn't
I
realize it.
will. I will be there.
Yeah, you and
Me and Petey will be there.
Right.
I just don't know.
Where
what
y'all
lake-
going?
Great question.
I think you ought to go to Bistineau.
Well, I think that there's going to be a lot of people think that they ought to go to Bistineau.
So you may go to Caddo.
Well, there's just going to be a lot of boat traffic on Bistineau during.
Don't go to Cross Lake.
No, it's yeah. I wanted to. My brush tops might be working about
But
that.
this will
time.
be a two-man team event, 3 bass limit, which is good because of the weather conditions, the hot water, blah, blah, blah. Live auction, family fun, and food. This is where they have the bracelet, isn't it? You get
Hey, y'all, we
the
just got a
band.
breaking news here. West Nile virus has just showed up in Bossier Parish.
Wow.
A case has just been reported. State health officials reporting 7 human cases of West Nile virus in Louisiana. One of those right here in Bossier Parish. So those mosquitoes that have been around,
Right.
and they're thick. Just keep that in mind. Okay, back to Holy Angels.
Yeah, 3 bass limit, live auction, family fun, and food. Isn't that where you get the wristband or something?
Yeah.
You can hit all the food stations you want to hit.
Oh, and it was great last
Oh,
year.
it
They had
was great.
jambalaya, they had fish, they had
Yeah.
a little bit of everything.
And fresh cracklings.
Oh, yes. I
Oh,
forgot
yeah.
about
It
that.
was really good. And Mike will be heading up the weigh-in, I'm sure. Start fishing at 6:30. Stop fishing at 2:30. Weigh-in closes at 3 o'clock. Be in weigh-in line by 3.
Okay, $200 entry fee.
Okay, let me clarify something. Weigh-in does not close. Be in the weigh-in line by 3. There's a difference.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
right.
yeah. I just want to
Right.
clarify
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
$200 entry fee. You do need to. Somebody's got to be there the Friday before the tournament. I guess you get your wristband. I can't remember
I
how.
think it's a little packet. Isn't it?
Yes, a little packet of something. You got it. One of you has got to show up there.
Down at Red River South.
But they are there all day long.
Yeah.
So it makes it real easy. And what a great organization. $5,000 to the first place team, $2,000 to second place. Last year, a record number of anglers showed up.
Yeah.
Caddo Lake showed out last year and could this year.
I think it will.
What we had, 87 last
Yeah,
year?
went from 30-something teams to 80-something last year.
Yeah.
I want to break 100 this year.
Yeah, I
think-
like to see us do 100.
I think that Holy Angels is a deserving organization, and this could be the year that any lake could really win it.
Yeah. Great way. I always said this was a great way to kind of end the fishing season with hunting season right around the corner there. Dove season opens up the next week.
Oh, you bet. Sit tight. Jackie Rains is going to talk some deer hunting with us. QDMA getting ready for the banquet tomorrow night. That's next. Hooking up and tracking down. 11:30 the Tiger.
That you'd be true.
This show would not be possible without our fine board op and bowling king, Jay Wadley. That's right, who does a great job of pushing all the buttons and producing this show. This segment presented by Daiwa Rods and Reels, Red River Waterway Commission, Seagar Fishing Line, and United Rentals, making all your home projects easier by providing great equipment and tools to get the job done. How about it, guys?
What was that movie? What was that movie with the guy that bowled with the plastic hand? What was that movie?
Kingpin.
Yeah,
Kingfisher.
Something.
Yeah. King Kong. King Kong.
All righty, you continue.
Right. Woody Harrelson with the prosthetic
Woody Harrelson
nose or something. Here's your Daiwa Gamakatsu best times to fish. If you can handle the heat, it's going to be a great weekend for fishing. This Friday, the fishing is rated as good, with Saturday and Sunday rated as excellent. There's only a 10% chance of rain all 3 days this weekend, but it will be hot with a high. I just lost the screen.
The high's going to be pushing 100.
Okay, there it goes. But it'll be hot with the highs of 96 and a low of 77 each day.
Heckle screen's always going out, isn't it?
We will be in a new moon phase this weekend. Best times to fish early evening. Friday, 10:06 a.m. to 1:06 p.m. with sunrise at 6:21, sunset at 8:15. Saturday, 11:07 a.m. to 2:07 p.m. Sunrise will be 6:21 and sunset 8:15. Sunday, 12:08 to 3:08 p.m. Sunrise 6:22, sunset 8:14. This has been your Daiwa Gamakatsu best time to fish.
You think about how much hell we take from all of our friends, how much we put on each other. I mean, Graf just takes it today from James Watson. Everybody, Charlie King, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what those birds were that I've been seeing on Lake Bistineau. I thought they were sandhill cranes or whoopie cranes. And Jeff Pate writes me up. I'm just telling you, this is an equal opportunity offender show. He says,
that's not me.
Jackie.
Oh, that's Jackie. He's getting a call. At any rate, he says, that's ibis, you country hick. I don't know. What's an ibis? Is that a crane?
It's a bird.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Okay.
It's like, what was that plant I was trying to say last week? Brassica?
Brassica.
Yeah. It's the same thing, I guess.
You kept it calling it brassica.
Brassica.
I drank one of those in Cozumel.
I think I'd have been drinking one that day.
You drink that. You get her to drink enough tequila. You see that brassica hit the floor.
Not at our age.
She ain't wearing one.
Save me, buddy. Save me. Jackie's getting ready for a banquet tomorrow night, the Quality Deer Management Association. And you guys, in the last 10 years, y'all have been movers and shakers in the Northwest Louisiana community.
Yeah, we've been working hard, man. Working hard, trying to get everybody educated on how to manage their deer populations and their habitat. Everything they need to know about whitetails.
Well, Jackie, it's I'll tell you something. Years and years ago, I heard a biologist. I talked to a biologist. Came in, said he had worked in 8 southern states, and Louisiana had the worst attitude towards fishing game, especially deer, of any state in the South. Now, that was a fact. I honestly believe he was telling the truth. Mm-hmm. But we've seen an incredible change in people's attitude, hunters' attitude, especially in the deer hunting world.
This is correct. Over the past 10 years, I've seen a major change in it. And it's just typical Louisiana. I mean, we were born and raised to hunt deer and shoot what we could for food on the table. But, the hunters are really taking a change here. They're really going to hard at it and trying to get it to where we're raising good quality deer, letting their deer grow up, getting some age on it, trying to get into that 3 to 3.5 year old age range before they harvest them to help improve our deer herds.
But I think the key to it, Jackie, has been the education of our younger generation that's coming up.
Bet.
Changing that mindset is where it started.
You got it.
Well, that too, but another thing that I believe is hunting leases. If you are just take property owners. If you just rent public housing, what do? They don't take care of it.
Yeah, right.
They don't.
You're right.
But if you own the house and you're responsible for it and you're going to live there for a long time, you take care of it.
You're invested.
Same way with a deer lease. When you were hunting public land, you shot the first thing that came by because you didn't think you'd ever see him again.
Right.
But on your lease, you're in control of that. And what you do affects what happens next year. I think that's been a big thing.
And it's kind of cool that you watch this deer grow up.
Yeah.
You're in an almost controlled environment to where You see him this year on your game cameras. Next year you see him, and the next year. Jackie, are we still, though, at a 2.5-year life expectancy on the whitetail in the state?
Yeah, it's pretty much. I mean, but it's changing. Like you say, the people in the area, especially I've seen in northwest Louisiana, change their attitude and try to go to that 3.5-year-old, let those bucks grow up. And that's one thing with QDMA. We supply you with the material to be able to age deer on the hoof so that when they walk out, not necessarily just by their rack size, but the way their body looks and the shape of their body, to be able to age them at that 2.5-year or 3.5-year or 4.5-year range. So the education through Quality Deer Management Association is very important.
Well, and I'm going back to Mike's point earlier about, with leasing now, you have a limited property area that you can hunt, whereas 20 years ago, I know when I first came to Louisiana, you could pretty much go hunt anywhere you wanted to hunt. So your availability of property was almost unlimited. Now you're limited, so it's shrunk down that area, and guys want to tend to, okay, well, I can't take that little bitty buck. If I take him now, he won't be a good buck 3 years from now.
This is true, and I tell you what else I've seen. I've seen not only with the hunting leases, like you say, with the expansion of them, but I'm seeing hunting leases that border each other, working together as a group.
Yes.
Because your deer cover a large area. They may wander on and off of your hunting lease from time to time. So it's very important to get leases around you cooperating and on the same program so that everybody is trying to achieve the same goal.
And that was a problem. I know down in Natchitoches Parish, we had the 2 or 3 leases that joined our place out there where we were hunting close to I-49. And some of the lease next to us, I won't call the name of it, but their mentality was, if it walks, we're going to shoot it, and getting them, that old school group of guys to change their thought process was almost, you just wasn't going to do it. They wasn't going to change. But I think the lack of property and the shrinkage of property to hunt help resolve some of that.
It's true. And then with QDMA, we kind of go a little bit on further. Now, we also believe that the first-time hunter, the person that's out there for the first time, that's really trying to hunt, and to get him excited, we like to see him take his first buck. Maybe it is a 1.5-year-old deer, but then once that take effect, then we want him to go ahead and ease on up into that area where they're getting into the mature bucks, the 3.5- and 4-year-old bucks. And one thing that QDMA does is we supply you with the material in order to be able to enhance your property, to enhance the habitat, how to grow your food plots out, where to locate them at, so that you're doing everything you can to enhance your herd.
Well, Jackie, all of this revolves around the banquet that we're going to have tomorrow night down at Riverview Hall, and we're fixing to give away 4 tickets to the banquet tomorrow night. So anybody listening, get your pencil out. I can tell you how to do that in just a minute. But go ahead and tell us what we've got going on Thursday night tomorrow with the QDMA.
Well, at 6 o'clock, you'll be able to come in and join us there at Riverview Hall. We've got raffles going on for all kinds of quality merchandise. We've got auctions going on, some very good top-quality stuff, from Kimber rifles to deer stands. Going to be a really, really good night.
Going to have a good supper, too. Lane Howard, Anything Goes Catering, is going to be serving a 12 to 14-ounce bone-in pork chop, and it's incredible. I love it. Twice-baked potatoes, green beans, salad, rolls, and a bottomless cup. So you're not going to leave there thirsty or hungry.
This is true, and I tell you what, last year Lane catered for us, and I had tremendous amounts of people come up and tell me how great the food was. So he is an excellent caterer and a great cook.
I've had the pleasure of helping y'all with the banquet for the last 4 or 5 years, and I've seen it grow each year. I look for this one to be probably the biggest banquet we've had in the Northwest Louisiana or Shreveport-Bossier chapter.
Yes, well, I tell you what, we've gotten a lot more tables sold for this year. And I've had a lot of response from just people looking at coming in from just walking in at the door and selling. So it's going to be an incredible night.
Jackie, I'm assuming there are still tickets left.
Yes, sir. We have plenty of tickets left.
Okay, how much, and what's the best way to get those? Should I just wait and walk up, or can I get them in advance?
If somebody wants to say purchase a ticket, because with a ticket we'll mention you in our program. You'll have a listing in our program. You'll also be listed in mentioned from the podium so that you get well sponsorship there. A table would run you $600. That comes with 8 tickets. They could contact me. We could get that lined up for them this afternoon. If they want to just drop in tomorrow at the door, you can drop in the door. Single memberships for the QDMA membership and the meal at night, it will be a $50 ticket.
Now, another thing, Jackie, I don't know if you were involved with this, but in Natchitoches, I think a week or so ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, somebody came to Natchitoches with QDMA and trying to start a chapter there. Is that something you were involved with? And if so, how can people make contact with you guys in order to maybe come to their community and try to set up a program and a group right there in their own little area?
I was not involved with it, but our regional director, J.B. Wynn, was involved with getting that started, and it does look like Natchitoches is going to get one up and running. But if somebody is interested in starting a chapter of their own, if they want to get in touch with me, I'd be more than happy to point them in the right direction.
Okay, cool.
Well, best way to get a hold of you, Jackie?
You can reach me on my cell phone at 318-453-2686.
No, that's just for the purchase of a table.
Or to get some more information if you want to start a chapter
absolutely.
somewhere.
Exactly. If anybody wants any information in QDMA or about our banquet tomorrow night, they can give me a call, and I'll be able to help them out in any way possible.
Give that number one more time.
318-453-2686.
Got it.
Okay, what we're going to do right now, we're going to give the phone number of the studio. We're going to give away a pair of tickets to the first 2 people that call. 688-0827.
I'm glad you knew that number.
Yep, 688-0827. You call right now. The first caller is going to get 2 tickets. Second caller is going to get 2 tickets. You can go to the QDMA banquet tomorrow evening, 6 o'clock at Riverview Hall, right down on Clyde Fant Parkway. Jackie Raines, thank you so much for being a part of this, and looking forward to being out there and seeing y'all tomorrow night.
Mike, thank y'all very much for having us on. Please come out and see us. Everybody that has the opportunity, you'll have a great time, eat a good meal, and get some good information about helping your whitetail habitat.
Okay.
Hey, Jackie, it was great to talk to you again, buddy.
You too, man.
Hey, Mike, give that number one more time.
688-0827. The first 2 callers are going to win a pair of tickets each for tomorrow night's banquet.
688-0827. Callers 1 and 2. You go into the show tomorrow night. We're hooking up and tracking down 11:30 the Tiger.
Well, this is it, our final segment. Please check out our new website at HUTDshow.com, an information highway for all things related to the great outdoors. This segment is presented by Nichols Department Stores, Kamikatsu Hooks, Spro Lures, and Toledo Town and Tackle. The largest tackle box on the bin with a great selection of Daiwa rods and reels, Spro Lures, and Gamakatsu hooks. One more time, here's Topwater Wadley, Chatterbait McCoy, Deke Master Graff, and Mudhen Eccles.
Hey, if you're headed for the Gulf Coast region for some great fishing, don't be that guy who forgot to get registered for the CCA Louisiana Star. That's the statewide tournament and Anglers Rodeo. It started Memorial Day. It's running all the way through Labor Day. Star is Louisiana CCA's largest membership drive and helps provide funding for all types of coastal and intercoastal projects statewide. Anglers compete for over $500,000 in prizes, from boats to trucks. It's still not too late. Get registered right now. Go to ccastar.com to learn more and to register for the greatest fishing tournament in Gulf Coast region. The Coastal Conservation Association of Louisiana, making a difference in the future of our waterways.
We have 2 winners.
And the winners are...
You guys want to know them? You want to know who they are? The first one.
I didn't think we had 2 people listening.
Yeah, we do. We have at least 2.
Okay.
Unless one of you guys called in. David Water.
David Water.
Is a winner.
David Water's a winner.
And one of you guys guessed the other one.
Bubba Hadaway.
Bubba Hadaway,
Hey,
baby.
Bubba Hadaway.
That's right.
Bubba Hadaway just texted me also. He said, I love Jackie Raines. He says, I'm still hunting with a Hoyt bow that I bought from him. Great guy.
Oh, cool.
Jackie Raines was in the archery business a long time. Mansfield and up here in South Shreveport. Just good people. And tomorrow night's banquet, 6 o'clock, the Riverview Hall. Lane's Catering, huh?
Yes.
Have you had that stuffed pork chop before?
Oh, yes.
Holy
It's not
cow.
stuffed, I don't think.
I thought it was.
No, I don't think so, but it doesn't matter.
Okay.
It's a
Also-
great big old,
Well, he makes a stuffed
it's a
pork
great
chop.
big old lunker-headed thing. I mean, it looks like a...
Like Lane.
Yeah.
Also tomorrow night, another huge event that we found out last week was going. Wheeling Sportsman Banquet is Thursday night at 6 o'clock at the Bossier Civic Center.
Oh.
Larry and Rhonda Johnson are the 2 that you can contact. 318-349-4829. That's 349-4829. The Wheeling Sportsman's Banquet Thursday, 6 o'clock, Bossier Civic Center.
Okay, tell me, when it gets really hot like this, do you find yourself, I mean, is it harder to talk yourself into going fishing?
Absolutely.
After yesterday, it's real hard. Johnny Geis has even quit for about a month.
What was it like about 9 o'clock yesterday morning? When you're not getting bites.
No, it wasn't that bad.
Okay.
The wind was blowing on both Monticello and Welsh.
Yeah.
It was not bad at all. I mean, the heat was not our issue at all. It was, they just wasn't biting. I mean, I don't know.
I've got a chance to go to Cocodrie this weekend.
Yeah.
And supposed to leave Thursday, but I can't do that because of the banquet.
I got you.
So I've got to make up my mind whether I'm going to leave Riverview Hall at 10 o'clock
and drive to Cocodrie.
6 hours to Cocodrie to trout and redfish Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
God, boy, it'd be hard for me to
who
say
you
no
going
to
out
that.
with?
Is
it some local guys going?
Well,
together?
a friend of mine, Dwayne Chapman from Minden, they've got his group has a camp down there. And
okay.
Some guys that
Are they on fish?
They said the trout. That's the only reason I'm even considering making the drive. I don't know that I will, but just because the trout fishing has extended so long this year, I won't drive South Louisiana just to catch redfish.
Right.
I don't care anything about it.
Yeah.
I want to catch a mess of trout and maybe a few redfish for the fun, but I just love to eat the speckled trout, and they've just every weekend they've been doing really good down there, and that's what's kind of motivating me to
make the trip.
What's your favorite way to cook a trout?
Well, probably fried, because I think a speckled trout is second to a crappie.
Oh, see, yeah, I'm with you on that.
So, which means I've now
It's
learned.
a good whitefish, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I've now learned, thanks to my buddy Homer Matlock up in Benton from the Dive Club, after he screwed me out of about half the recipe for about 6 times. I finally got all the ingredients for to learn to blacken white perch fillets.
Yeah.
The most incredible thing you'll ever eat in your life.
Better than the duck?
Well, I mean, that's like saying
it's a steak, better than chicken.
You can't compare it. But one of the best ways to eat fish, blackened white perch fillets, and I'm thinking that the speckled trout will be about the same thing.
Huh.
But I've got a little recipe that where you bake them with in melted butter, lemon juice, and a crouton, crushed up spicy.
Ritz crackers works the best on that.
Well, actually, the recipe started with who did those croutons? Pepperidge Farm onion and garlic croutons.
Mm-hmm.
They quit making them.
Oh no!
So I'm kind of struggling to find a good spicy.
That
crouton.
Ritz cracker is just a butter cracker.
Yeah.
And man, I put it on redfish.
Really?
When I'm baking redfish, and when the cracker turns brown, the fish is done.
Yeah.
But but it's not spicy like what you're looking
Right,
for. You might
yeah.
want something with a little bite to it.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. So something to take the place of a Pepperidge Farm onion garlic crouton.
Night fishing. Anybody heard reports? Anybody catching big fish at night? Now I have been seeing that the fish are starting to school up real good down on Toledo, but it's on the south end. And when I say schooling, they're not breaking the water, but they're catching them really good, 25 to 30 feet deep. So maybe some of the fishing, some of the fish are starting to move on out to some of the deeper haunts.
Right.
And the guys have been wearing them out pretty good. Now, I would imagine that there are some fish coming to the top. Charlie King wrote on Facebook last week or week before that some of the places on the old river channel on Lake Bistineau, bass are starting to come up to school a little bit right now. So, if you were looking, I'm not a big proponent of keeping a whole bunch of bass.
Right.
But if you were looking to keep a mess of bass, school fish would be the best ones to do that with.
Nothing over 2 pounds. Don't keep anything over 2 pounds as far as bass.
But, if you were keeping 12, 14-inch fish, man, I just don't think you could damage the population that bad.
You can't. You cannot catch all – the biologists will tell you cannot catch all the little fish. Take your little fish out.
Yeah.
After all the time that we've spent pushing and being proponents of catch and release, now – we've learned that harvesting is a part of management on the fish, just like it is on the deer. But you just if you've got to go down to Lake Bistineau right now and catch 4 and 5 pound fish, 6 pounds, and come in and put a knife to them, that's your business. But don't call yourself a sportsman.
I'd like to, if at all possible, next week, Steve. I'd like to get someone from Delta Waterfowl on the show with us. My son, and I was showing this to Mike earlier. My son texted me a piece of an article that's in the current Delta Waterfowl magazine, and he says that the average duck hunter only kills 12 ducks per season.
They must be hunting Bistineau.
And I said, I honestly believe that seasons and limits are just politics. And I told him, I said, if this article is correct, that proves it. He says, yes, in this article, it says that limits mean nothing. Mortality rate goes up even higher when limits go down.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, he's already got Frank Rohr, which is the president. I mean, the king of Delta, an old LSU biologist, moved up to Bismarck, North Dakota. Now, going to be on in a couple of weeks.
Okay.
August 9th.
But we can probably get Brian Leach, who is the state head of the state Delta Association. We probably get him on next week.
Well, I would love to visit with whoever could explain a little bit more in depth this article, because for the years that we've worked together on this show, Mike, you've always said that the coastal region dictates our duck season.
The coastal region dictates 98.9% of all laws written in the state of Louisiana.
Well, it's always been said that 80% of the population of Louisiana lives south of Alexandria, so that's where most of the votes come from. But what I want to know is, could changing the season, the federal guidelines dictate limits. Could changing the season, if they lengthen the season, could that not be done meeting these guidelines?
I don't know, but the South has changed our teal season. Normally, the Louisiana teal season opens the second Saturday of the month, and 80% of our teal up in the northwest zone up here it's killed the first week. Well, guess what? They moved it back a week. It's not going to open until the third Saturday of the month this year.
So all the teal are gone by
all
then.
the teal will be gone. Guess where they're going to be gone?
Wow.
South Louisiana.
Wow.
Yep. So once
for
again,
opening weekend there.
Bend over for the coon ass.
All right, here's our final word. It's hard to believe, but August is right around the corner, and that means school will be starting. Football season begins, and dove season is coming soon. But the dog days of August can be difficult and a grueling time to be outdoors. Be careful when getting out in the heat, and make sure to drink plenty of water. Take the time to cool yourself down, whether you're fishing or doing yard work. Heat stroke can come quickly when temperatures are approaching the upper 90s, especially for the elderly. So avoid long hours of heat exposure and try and take frequent breaks if you have to be outside. For Gary McCoy, Mike Eccles, Jay Wiley, and yours truly, Steve Graff, thanks for listening. We'll see you next week right here on 1130 The Tiger for more Hooking Up and Tracking Down.